friends. I, Professor Dharmendra Narayan Jha, welcoming you all in the orientation session on National Innovation and Startup Policy. India aspires to become $5 trillion economy by 2024. To reach the mark, it needs to evolve system and mechanism to convert the present demographic dividend into high quality technical human resource capable of doing cutting edge research and innovation and deep tech entrepreneurship. With this vision, in today's session is getting conducted under the banner of Institutional Innovation Council at Sagar Institute of Science, Technology and Research, SISTEC-R, initiative by MHRD's Innovation Cell. Innovations are the driving engine for any country and people. So this is the requirement of time that we discover, innovate, and challenge the limits for the development and betterment of the country and the people. Today, we are obliged to have Professor Ajit Kumar Srivastava, HOD, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, with us to explore more on the said topic. So over to you, sir. We are very pleased to have you in this session. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dharmendra sir. Good afternoon to one and all attending the session. Yes, the All India Council of Technical Education has taken a step in November 2016 that they should get into the startup policy where the technical education can take a lead and all the technical aspirants can get something so that they can be, instead of job seekers, they can be job providers. And this has given this has been recoiled and given strength through the statement of our respected Prime Minister that local for vocal and vocal for local, and in this apart from 2016, the Ministry of Human Resource and Development has formulated a committee, and the committee submitted its findings, and those findings are that all the higher educational institutes should start with the startup and entrepreneurship programs within their institutions. The concept behind starting these, you can call them as courses or some extracurricular activities which have been added into the technical education. Behind that, where the students' thinking can be bring up into the actual shape, where with that thinking they can make their own livelihood as well as they can serve to the nation as entrepreneurs. No, this innovation and startups, they are basically linked together. How they are linked together is when we think upon and we imagine after seeing something or hearing something or looking something, and apart from that we start imagining. When we imagine it, and that imagination gives some new concept to our mind, and these concepts when formulated through engineering into actual present life, then they becomes the need of today's requirement, and this is what the innovation is. So innovation comes basically from very childhood, and to give boost to this innovation, that our brains, we generally say that our brains from India, they migrate to the other abroad countries, and there they are doing very good and they are earning good. So this is what, why should not we keep our brains in our country and let our country grow? So this is what the concept is, through which this MHRD has taken an initiative where all the higher educational institutes are now supposed to start up with the IICs as one of the important part in developing and good startups and promoting our students also. So when the student thinks something new, that should not be discarded, that should not be put into the dustbin. It should be taken very sincerely, so that, and we have to put a thought behind that, and that thought gives a boost to the students in terms of his personality, in terms of his future scope also. And he also says that yes, what we I have thought of has been recognized. And when we put some conceptual concepts behind those imaginations, and if we try to bring it into shape for actual use in our day-to-day life, then it becomes a good new product, and which can be used by the population. So this is what the concept of implementing this startup policies and entrepreneurship management policies into the higher education institutions. Yes, with this, few things have been under this 2090s, along with the new education policies. Few headings have been identified, which are to be taken care of by all the higher education institutions, as well as the or startup entrepreneurship programs. These are basically what should be the strategies, and what should be the governance to take up this such uh, steps ahead. Now, startups enabling institutional infrastructure, like for if somebody wants to, or some students wants to start their own startups, then how these startups can be helped through the institutions, that the higher education institutions, and how these institutions are going to nurture these startup and innovations. Then product ownership and rights, like who will be the owner of the product being developed under innovation cell or the startup program. Then organizational capacity and human resource incentives are also a very important part, which are to be looked into. We will discuss these points within little bit details right now, only one by one. So I am talking about all those guidelines which have been provided by the MHRD to start with a policy which focused onto the startups and innovations. So what are the strategies and governance if we talk about? So institutions should promote the entrepreneurship ecosystem should be developed, so that the we can incubate or pre-incubate the startups. Pre-incubate, incubate means that when we think of to do something, uh, we cannot directly jump into the startups, because startup is basically a business, and the business needs a support from the back end. And support can be in terms of in different dimensions. That can be financial support, that can be design support, that can be technology support, etc., etc. So these supports are to be provided to those who are go for startups. So before starting any business, there is a incubation and pre-incubation centers. So these incubation center, pre-incubation centers, they provide all these resources and facilities, and they facilitate for the startups. So these are to be promoted by the institutions, and this promotion should be done not only onto the papers. Yes, if your institution, educational institution, is doing any convention, any symposium, or any conference, these things are to be promoted there also. Then resource mobilization plan should be worked out uh, to support this pre-incubation and incubation. And these are to be helped to the faculty members. Yes, institution should have a very good team of faculty members also, those who are keen to help the students, and this help should not only be restricted a certain amount of time. It is suppose that the support from the institution side should be provided for 24 by 7, so that as and when they need your help, the help should be extended there itself. In terms of investment, yes, if an institution can it can be a part in investing some of the amount, then the institution should think of certain percentage of amount from their budget to be allocated for the startups and the innovation programs or innovations. Apart from that, the fundraising activities can be done, and there are so many agencies from the government and semi-government side, even from the private sector also under CSR. They can fund the new thinkings, uh, or they can in terms of, if they are not they able to support in terms of monetary basis, yes, they can give the technology support for those starts of and innovations. Again, for decision making is another very important part. So this to expedite this decision making, these hierarchical barriers should be removed. This is suggested that the individual anatomy, or you can say individual uh, decision making capabilities should be given for the ownership and initiative, so that the decisions can be taken quick, though decisions should not be the strategy. And if we talk about student and faculty policies, yes, the teams should be properly formulated among proper mix of guidance should be given, and the things should be properly decided. What is our long-term plan and what are our short-term goals? These are to be very well addressed by different meeting the students and the faculty, those who are leading, and micro action plan should be prepared, so that the things can be properly get done. So after this, that we are the startups and enabling institutional infrastructure, that HEIs are advised to create the facilities where the institution can support pre-incubation and incubation. This pre-incubation facilities again should be provided by for 24 by 7 to the students, staff, and faculty for all disciplines and all the departments. Uh, these pre-incubation facilities maybe some can be considered as a special purpose vehicle, and HEIs may offer mentoring and other relevant services to the incubation units. In turn, yes, the if we talk about the fee equity and zero payment basis, that depends on the institutions how they are using those facilities. Like yes, they can ask for some of the fee payment uh, from those startups. That depends on what type of startups and what they are or to what level they are getting involved into. Then nurturing innovations and startups, like how we are going to help out those innovations and startups which are being so they are higher education institutes, they are expected to establish the process and mechanism for easy creation of a startup and enterprise by the students. That those students can be of undergraduate course, postgraduate course, then they can be the scholars of PhD scholars, you can say, right? Even the institutions can support these startups and incubation this sorry innovations from the outside the institutions too, right? Then institution can help in licensing of IPR. Like if the IPR is to be filed, then yes, those institutes can help those startups for registering for the IPR. These startups and innovations can be a part time or can be full time. The institutions can design their own policies. Even they can ask for the students to take a break from their regular courses if they are rigorously working on to some startup and innovation. And these breaks being given to the research scholars or the UGPG students, these breaks are to be properly monitored. Monitoring is a very important part because assessment, like for what you have been provided the facilities, those facilities, if you are being availed, you are supposed to revert back also. So those assessments are to be very well designed, and based on those assessments, the students can or the those students involved in the startup and innovation can get the uh, credits out of their work. Now, so that can be a month. They can take a leave of 1 month, or semester, or a year. That depends, right? So these policies are to be framed along with the institution, along with the university, with those the institutions are affiliated. Uh, In terms of product ownership, if we talk about, yes, ownership rights are again depends, like that is between institution and the team working onto the startup and innovation. But what involvement of the institution is, like suppose we say that if institution is taking measures for guiding the startup and mentoring those startups and innovations, then yes, there may be a possibility that when you are going for registering an IPR, then the name of that should be under the name of the institutions, or whether it will be in the name of the person doing those startups. That depends. That depends and can be addressed with the discussions. And but those policies, if institution is framing those policies, should be very clear whenever a startup is to be started, or innovation or a pre-incubation is to be started. Those working into those incubation centers or onto the startup, they should know that what are the policies framed by the institution, whether we are following those, we are supposed to follow those, or we are avoid with those policies. After getting agreed upon, no disagreement should be there. And the percentage, if it is a profit making a startup, then the percentage of the profits can also be addressed, that whosoever are being involved in the startups, what percentage of profits are to be distributed among those, you can say, partners, right? Then organizational capacity and human resource incentives. Incentives can be given in many ways. We call them as sabbaticals. Sabbaticals means we are giving leave from a regular course, or we are asking. We can ask to arrange some special courses, special training programs for those persons, those who are working on to the startups. So these are basically the also we can call them as incentives. Not they are in terms of monetary, but they are for helping the pre-incubation and incubation for a startup. Then above and this, we have to get the creating innovative pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurs at institution level. Yes, if the product institution also wants to get involved in totality with those startups, then yes, we should have the pathways, uh, how we can spread the awareness among the students so that the students should get involved under those startups and can take experience and help. Again, those who are interested, they are supposed to get into, like, generally by curiosity everyone wants to get into कि मैं भी आना चाहता हूँ, मैं भी आना चाहता हूँ, but it is not like that. We should not go with the mob. So proper awareness should be spread among the students, uh, faculty and staff also. The students and staff should be taught the proper technology, like what we are talking about, the pipeline and pathways. Yes, what technology is required for those startup innovation, that technology are to be being to be taught to those students as well as the staff. um, because this is the era where the technologies are changing very fast in all the department. Not only we are talking about computer science engineering, in every field the technologies are changing very fast. So we need to understand the technology and why this technology we are learning or studying or getting trained, because that is the part of the required for the startup innovation. And these students, those who are having the mindset of or we can say entrepreneurial mindset, where they actually want to become an entrepreneur, those students should be promoted. As I told, everyone wants to get involved into, but everyone's capacity is different, na? So we have to have a check on to our student also. Those who are really having those qualities and skills should go ahead with this, because they can only withstand with those startups and innovations. Again, if we talk about faculty startup, yes, the norms are to be laid down for the faculty startups, as I told you, in terms of that their role. That role can be they are owner, they can be director, they can be promoter, they can be consultant. So there can be a number of designations which a faculty can hold for that particular startup and innovation. Uh, uh, this is what about the role we are talking about. Then uh, yes, apart from this, their incentives are to be decided based on the role. Monetary incentives can play an important role. Then non-monetary is also important. That, as I told you, that is they are supposed to attend certain courses. We should allow them, and those sabbaticals, those leaves are being to be extended to those faculty and staff, those who are mentoring these things. In terms of awards, yes, they are also one of the motivators. Yes, we can give them awards. We can awards can be in terms of certificates, in terms of what we can say in certain conferences. We can recognize them. So recognition is award and recognition we can take all together, can be provided to the students as well as to the faculty and the staff. So this is what we can talk in terms of norms for the faculty startups. Learning interventions uh, are another important criteria, uh, because uh, for for a business to survive, it is very important that failures are to be taught to the students, because when things get failed, so they gives a very adverse effect onto the. So those failures are to be taught to the students, and awareness regarding the business should be given to the participants participating in the startups. Mm, then yes, uh, champions should be nominated. I we can those who are extending a marvelous contribution into the area that could be recognized. That's what I use the word. The champions should be nominated, and uh, they can we can change their roles also. Once somebody has done a very good into the startup, for others they can be as a mentors, or we can ask them to work a role as a consultant to the other startups or coming startups. Then this entrepreneurship education is very important part, and this entrepreneurship education can be accommodated as a co-curricular or extracurricular activities in your regular courses. This is going to help out to develop their thinking as an entrepreneurs. uh, Yes, the projects or the startups, inter-domain startups are to be promoted. This is a very important part going to play, because I used to use a word, technology sandwich, which is nowadays uh, coming nowadays. It is very much required. Everybody has to work, join in hands, and collectively they have to work upon. So this is an important part, that not only the students working or the research scholars working under the startup or innovation or entrepreneurship programs should collaborate from interdepartment. Even the faculty members of interdepartment should be work in collaboration under such, and these are to be promoted, and the awareness is also required to be spread among the faculty, staff, and students, that why this is important to take the initiative, which are interdisciplinary initiatives. uh, yes, entrepreneurial impact assessment. Yes, what you are doing, what you have done, how you have done, the assessment is a very important part. So institutions have to identify those parameters on which the startups or innovative thinking ideas are to be assessed, right? Even in terms of mentoring, the parameters are to be fixed, so that uh, we can again, an important part, we can facilitate the mentors too, if we are having some parameters for the mentors too. So mentors as well as the team all should have, even institution for themselves should keep some parameters for their assessment, like how much they have supported, what they have supported, to what extent those startup have grown up. uh, it should not like that a startup have initiated, and within a year, if it is out of the market, then time as well as the infrastructure, money, or we can say capital. When we talk about business, we use a word capital. So these capital should not be get wasted. If some startup has been initiated, it should reach to the extent where it can be exaggerated and can be used by the population. So this is what the concept of new national innovation and startup policy of MHRD. uh, and this MHRD is requesting the higher educational institutions to start these all these uh, programs for their students, where they can nurture the students and their thinking to extent where they can become entrepreneurs. So this is all about the national innovation and startup policy uh, and their guidelines for the higher education institutions. If you have something to ask, we can take few questions. Is there any questions we want to ask something? If you have got something to ask, yes, I can answer. Okay, thank you very much.
So thank you, sir, for putting up light on overall life cycle of this initiative, right from the significance, its process, growth aspect, challenges, accomplishment, policies, possibilities, and till the results. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.